that is the last of my troubles. Let's get into the video. What is up, Raven Gang? It's your girl Raven back with another little video for you. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. All you gotta do is like, comment, and subscribe to be a part of the Raven Gang, because the Raven Gang are no gang, and that's on period. I am back, guys, and I'm back with another story time. This is like a sensitive topic of a story time, but I am willing to talk about it because I do talk about it with my parents all the time. They actually approved me doing this video because I made sure to ask them and talk to them about it before I did it. So do not think down below in the comments that this is for clout or anything else like that, because this is a true story and I want you guys to hear it out, because a lot of people do have questions about it, about this drastic event that happened to me. A lot of people have questions about it, of why I left and why I came back, and I'm here to tell a little of my truth. I'm not gonna stay here and lie to y'all, so make sure you guys stay tuned. But if you guys could, for me, give this video a thumbs up and comment, and please subscribe to my channel and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss another fire video like this one. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
I like it back, yeah, like Riri. Every time she see me, she wanna eat me. I saw like Justin Bieber, please believe me. I said, wow, I'm on the TV. I can't fuck with broke bitches, they be creepy. She be acting up, she always tryna.
Alright, so this basically started last summer 2019, because it's 2020. Last summer 2019, July, maybe, right? July. I think it was July. I went to see a boy that I was not supposed to be seeing. And I went there and I got caught. And I didn't want to go back home because I was scared that I got caught and stuff like that. So my sister, my blood sister that I no longer talk to, I went with her, and basically I was gonna stay with her for the summertime until my mother was gonna come pick me up, because she was just gonna take me and come live with her. But I didn't really stay with my sister like that. I stayed with a girl who used to be my friend. I stayed with her for the summertime, and until my mother came to pick me up and stuff like that. So I had a calm summer or whatever, despite everything that happened to me leaving my parents. Let me tell you guys who I was living with. I was living with my father, which is my birth father, and my stepmother, who my father married, but I don't call her my stepmother because she treats me like her own, so she's my mother. So I was living with them in New York, but my birth mother was going to take me back home to PA. She lives in PA, down in Pittsburgh, where I was living for like a month. So she came to get me, and I was staying with her. But I don't even know how to put this. I grew up with both my parents around until they got separated. But before they even got separated, I was always really close with my father. I was always really close with him, always, just like that. Like, since I was a baby, like, I would see pictures, I was always stick to my father's hip, and I still am. I'm a daddy's little girl. It was always been that way. So basically, my mother left me like when I was 12. She went to PA with her boyfriend and his mother, and they went to live down there because she wanted a house for a good price and stuff like that. And I stayed with my father for a really long time, up until I left last summer. And he takes really good care of me. That's my best friend. That's my father. That's my ride or die. No matter what we went through and stuff like that, we always overcame it, and we just let bygones be bygones, and we just let the past be the past. So when I was living with my mother, I don't really get along with her like that. I'm very free-minded with my mother because I don't approve of everything she do or the things she tell me, and it's not in a rude or disrespectful way. I always speak my mind, and I'm like that with my father, and I think that's where it really came from, because when I was living with him when I was younger, he's like a male figure, and we joke around all the time. So I guess with my mother, some of the things she'll take sensitive of what I'm saying, but I'm just joking around, because with my father I can do that. So like, let's say for example, if I'm talking about her hair or something, she'll be like, Raven, like, what are you talking about? Like, this, that she want to go off. Like, girl, it's a joke. But, you know, whatever. But I call my mother toxic because she's a toxic environment to be around. And I can't stay around her for a long period of time. Every time I will go down and visit her, it's always something when I come back. And it's just like, I can't stay around her well. And this video is not to sit here and bash my mother or my sister or that side of the family, because you can love people from a distance, but it's just like, I learned my place with them, blood or not. You don't have to be treated that way just because that's your family. You can step your foot down and say enough is enough, and enough is enough. Living with my mother is the opposite from living with my father. My father doesn't smoke nor drink and party and stuff like that, but my mother does. And I don't find that that's a bad thing, but that's just not how I grew around. I didn't grow up with people being drunk around me or always smoking or getting high. And that's just not the stuff I like. I hate alcohol. I hate weed. I hate all that stuff being around. I don't like it. And that's just the type of person I am. And she would always tell me around me, like, thank God I don't want to do any of that stuff. And I don't. And I also call her toxic because when she would do something for me, I have to hear about afterwards. If you're my mother, I shouldn't have to hear that. One time she didn't even do my nails. So her boyfriend or whatever, ex-boyfriend, boyfriend, he had paid to do my nails. And a couple days after, I don't even think it was a couple days after, I think it was that same day we went back to the house, she was like, y'all got me walking around here, my hair, my nails not done. You got your nails done, this, that, and the third. Okay, my nails is done, but it's like, what are you sitting here and complaining for? Why not just appreciate that your daughter's nails is done? Why sit here and not have to hear about it? So then it just started with that, and just like when she would buy me clothes, it's just like, I'm ungrateful, this, that, and the third. But it's just like, how am I ungrateful for something you're doing? That is your job, taking care of me. I shouldn't have to always hear about it. When my father does stuff for me, it's not later on in life I'm hearing, Raven, I just got you this, or Raven, I got you this, and you sit here and you talking about that. Like, no, it's none of that with my father. And my father does spoil me, but it's not stuff that I'm not deserving of getting. So I don't like when people call me spoiled, because it's not like I'm sitting here and I'm a bad child and I don't deserve none of the stuff I have, because I get good grades, I do what I gotta do, I do my part as a child. So then living with her and stuff like that, it would really irk me. And then the school I was going to on top of that, is just, all of that was just so stressful. And then like, people from the outside will always picture me like, oh, Raven, you so happy over there. No, you don't know what's going on inside the house. You just see what's on camera, what I post, but that's not the half of what's going on. My mother is toxic. The house environment of me I'm not used to living in was toxic. The drama that kept coming around us was toxic, that I'm not used to. Fighting, argument every other day, that stuff I'm not used to. And it's just, it was enough is enough. Another way my mother was being very toxic towards me every day is having to hear about the child support. My father's been taking care of me, like I said, since I was 12. My father didn't ask my mother for anything. My father was doing everything he had to do on his own, enrolling me in school and making sure I had clothes on my back, and he was feeding me every night and this, that, and the third. But when I started becoming 13, 14, my mother would start complaining and start like criticizing his parents, and like, why doesn't she have this or that? You're not even taking care of me. You call when you feel like it. You're trying to play a mother role that you don't really represent. So it's just like, none of what you're saying makes sense, or that we have to listen to, because you don't take care of me. She would send $50 here and there if I would ask, or if she felt like it, $50 doesn't do anything for this girl. Like, not to sound like rude or nothing, but it really doesn't. And then it's just like, No. So then it came to enough is enough with my father, because she would send him nasty texts and stuff like that, trying to come at him when he's taking care of me. You're being ungrateful. Even though that's my father, he's supposed to take care of me, but it's still like, girl, you're in another state, and you worrying about yourself, you're taking care of yourself. So he put her on child support. But when I was living with her last summer for a month, it was always about the child support. It will always come back to the child support. When she's angry or when she's drunk, she's talking about the child support. Or we talking about my father. And it's just like, I'm not there anymore. This shouldn't be a topic we're always talking about. I don't want to keep hearing about the child support. I don't want to hear you going back and forth of you taking care of me. Then it became angry. She became angry because it's like, okay, I'm living with her now. She's still paying for child support. But it's just like, still, what are you complaining for? Like, just let it go. It's child support of a child you wasn't taking care of back then. Me, you weren't taking care of me. That's what he did. I don't see a wrong in that. Females is always putting a male on child support, but when a male does it, it's a problem. It took him a while to even put her on child support, so I don't understand the issue. I didn't see one, and it really was not doing much, and it still doesn't do much to this day. So then, basically after that, school became very unbearable, having to get up and go to every morning. Okay, a lot of kids, they get up, they say they don't want to go to school, they don't like school. No, me personally, I did not like that school. I never hated the school so much in my life. I hated that school. I hated going there. Oh my God, I just did not like it. And then I didn't have much. Only had like I went down there with my Air Forces that got beat up, that I didn't even bring back because those things was torn, because I was wearing them every day, so I didn't even want them anymore. And then finally, they bought me a pair of sneakers, which her boyfriend did, took me to the mall and bought me a pair of sneakers, which I appreciated. But even then, taking me to the mall then was like, it was aggravating. I'm aggravating. So then, it came to when, I dragged it. I wasn't even living there for a month. I was staying there for like 2 months. September, October. Like 3 months. September, October, November. And I came back to New York in December. But I didn't even get enrolled into school down there until October, because I was supposed to be doing school online. And that never even happened. And then when the school, she kept telling me the school didn't call back yet. And then when the school finally called back, she told me I was going to be late and behind the trimester. And she told me that she wanted me to graduate and be around people instead of being in the house all day. But then you were the one who suggested me doing school online, because you told me the school was terrible, which the school really was terrible. And you still had me going there anyway. So it's just like, which is it? So then December comes, and that week I was not having it. I didn't like none of the stuff I was going through. I was going through so much in my mind mentally, to where I just wanted to go home. I just wanted my father. I just wanted my mother, which is my stepmother. I'm just going to call her my stepmother so y'all don't get confused. I wanted my father. I wanted my stepmother. I wanted to be back home. I wanted to be in my own room, in my own space. I just wanted to get away from being down there, because when I'm down there, I have nowhere to go. I didn't have friends like that. I couldn't just go out and say, oh, I'll be right back, because it's like, it's nothing around me. And I'm not used to living in a house with so many people, living with my father, my stepmother. I'm the only child in the house. Sometimes I don't like being the only child in the house, because I'd be bored, so I bother them. But then it's like, I'm used to it now, so I like my own space. And not having my own space, being around so many people in the house, it was not for me. So then I went to a lady that I was calling my aunt, which we was living with, and I told her, I went to her first because I felt like she was going to be more understanding than my mother and my sister, because they both don't like my father. So I went to the lady in the house, and I went to her crying. Like, I was crying, like I was bawling my eyes out. Like, it just, because I told you I was like getting frustrated and I was about to break down. So I finally like broke down. I could not take it anymore, and I was crying. And then she was like, what's going on? I told her I did not want to be here anymore. I wanted to go back home. And she was like, did you speak to your father right now? I was like, yes, I spoke to my father and my stepmother, and they told me that I'm welcome to come back home. I was always welcome to come back home. I don't know where these stories came from that I got kicked out of my father's house, because that started around my school, that I got kicked out of my house. That never happened, because my father never kicked me out. Always said I could come back home if I wanted to come back home. I left because I wanted to leave, because I was scared. Like I said in the beginning, I left. And I didn't even have to leave, but I just decided to do that dumb mistake. So then I told her that I wanted to go back home. And she's like, Raven, if you're uncomfortable and you're unhappy here, I support your decision. Don't ever think if you leave here, I'm not going to talk to you, and it's that and the third. You know, I'm here for you. So then she was like, do you want me to help you and talk to your mother? And I'm like, yeah. So she goes and she talks to my mother, and she comes back, and she told me to go talk to her. So I went in the room. I was still crying. I really knew my mother was going to be hard on me and just throw the situation off. That's why I did not want to come to her with the situation. So I told her, and she was like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Like, you already know what I'm talking about. If she just came in the room and told you what's going on, why are you going to stay here and then already act like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I want to go back with my dad. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to go back home. She was like, well, yeah, what you want to go back home for? There's not a third. Did you talk to them or something? And I'm like, yeah, I called them because I wanted to speak to them. And because I had called my stepmother earlier. I had told her everything that was going on, that I wanted to come home, and I was crying and stuff, and she was like, of course you can come home. Like, we always wanted you to come back home, that we miss you and stuff like that. So then I told my mother all of that, and she's like, no, you're not going back. How are you going to tell me at 16 years old I'm not going back? That makes no sense, because when I was with them, you would tell me I'm 16, that I can come with you. So now how you flipping the script and telling me that I can't go back? You just don't want me there. And then that was it. So then I went to sleep with an attitude because I was really mad, getting frustrated. So everything was fine. So then I went to school and I started talking to my counselor. And he was just asking like background history and stuff like that. And I was just like, I would just talk to him. And then that day I had spoke to my father and my stepmother, and they told me that they was trying to find ways for me to get back home to New York, because they knew my mother wasn't gonna let me leave. She was not gonna let me leave and come back to New York by free will, or by letting me walk out the door. She was not letting me gonna do it. So they found a way to get me. So that was happening. So the next morning I get back home, and my mother's like, and did you hear back from them? And I'm like, no, because you sitting here and you telling me I'm not going. And she was like, because what do you want to go there for? And then she starts talking about like how my father doesn't let me go out and stuff like that, or be with friends and stuff like that. But it's just like, how you sitting here and telling me you don't let, I don't even go outside here. I'm always in the house. At the school, I do the same thing every day. Come home, eat, go pick up the lady's daughter, come home, just watch them till y'all come home. Like, it was the same thing every day. So what are you telling me? What are you telling me right now? So then it was just like, she would just be like, it makes no sense for you to go back there. You're not going back there. And I'm just like, okay, because they already found a way to come get me. So at this point, I'm just saying, okay. So then she's like, so then I go downstairs because I didn't want to be in the room anymore with her. And she was like, don't walk out that door until it's 6:15 on the dot, because 6:15 is when the bus comes, but it don't directly come at 6:15. So she's telling me to directly leave out the door at 6:15, not before 6:15. And I'm like, whatever, because any other day I'm supposed to be out the door before 6:15, before the bus comes. Now you're telling me don't leave until 16. I'm just like, whatever. So I leave at 6:15, and I get to school, and I called them back, and they was like, they found a way to get me. Just calm down, relax. So then it was a party that day for my nursing class, and I didn't want to be in the party because I was just going through too much at that moment. And my aunt had texted me, and she was like, your mom is just upset or just that or that, she just doesn't want you to leave. I was like, well, can you just talk to her? And she was like, yeah, of course I'll talk to her. And I'm gonna put those screenshots. She said, yeah, because I talked to her. So then the drama started with my sister. My sister starts texting me all these things like, why do I want to go back home? For what? This, that, and the third. I'm going to put those screenshots up. You're bothering me right now while I'm at school to sit here and ruin my day even more. For what? You're going back and forth with me for what right now? I'm not understanding what you sitting here and you want to talk to me about while I'm at school when this could wait till I got home. So then she just kept going. She just kept going and going and going to a point where I think I just started texting, okay, it's everything she was saying. I wasn't even reading anymore because you're at work, I'm at school. You want to keep going for what? It's pointless. It's done. It's over with. And she's sitting here, she's like, nobody wants you to leave. Everybody's sitting here talking about. I'm like, what are you talking about? The lady that I was calling auntie, I was like, I already spoke to auntie. She said that is fine. She was like, well, she just said something else. And I'm just like, okay, but when I was talking to her, she was saying something else. So whatever she's saying right now to you or whatever you saying, I don't really care or want to hear right now. Like, that's it. That's all. So I didn't want to be in a party after that. She really irritated my nerves. You want to keep going. You want to keep going. I don't. This conversation's getting nowhere. You just want to keep talking and keep talking. I don't want to keep hearing you talk. So then, what happened after that? Then I went to sit in the counselor's office because I didn't want to be in my class in the party anymore. I wasn't in the partying mood. So then I'm telling him, like, it's not a good environment to be in right now. I'm showing him the messages my sister still keep texting while I'm in his office, just going on and on and on. And he's like, wow, and stuff like that. And then he telling me that I should just go down and visit my father just for some time and then come back. And I'm like, mister, I don't want to go down there and visit, because if I go down and visit, I'm not going to want to come back. So I'm not even going to sit there and even think I'm about to go down there and have fun and I'm going to come back, because I'm not going to come back. And that's another thing my sister kept saying, that I was just feeling New York sick. I'm not just New York sick. I'm New York sick all the way. I need to go. That's it. It's not no little phase, but I'm just missing New York. No, I'm ready to go back to New York and stay. It's not my environment. Y'all want to sit here. Y'all want to live a different life from New York. That's fine. That's it. That's y'all. But I have a decision. I have a decision where if I want to be with my father, if I want to be with my mother, that's my choice. So then, he's basically not making anything no better, because nobody was really trying to help me at all. Nobody. Like, I could have been, God forbid, a runaway child or suicidal or stuff like that, because nobody was trying to listen to me, hear me out. Everybody was just against the fact that I wanted to go home. Nobody was happy with my decision. Everybody had their own opinion in my ear, saying different things that I don't want to hear right now. I don't want to hear what any of y'all have to say, because it's not your choice. I did what I did, and I want to go back home. I wanted back home. I don't want to be here. Nothing is good for me here at all. So basically, she was not trying to let me go still. When I got back home, I guess my mother told my sister that everything was fine, because when I went back home, I acted like everything was fine. I acted all happy and cheery with my mother. So then she told me to go to the store, and I went to the store, and I guess she had told my sister that everything was fine now, to just let it go. So then my sister hugged me and stuff that day and was like, I'm so happy that you don't want to go anymore, because she feel that our bond is getting closer. Because mind you, I told you, I was never really close with my sister or my mother growing up. I was always close with my father. So she finally felt like we was getting that sister bond that we never had. And that is true. I was getting closer with my sister, but then at the same time, it's just like, we can be sisters from a distance like we was doing the whole time, and just meeting up and linking and hanging out, and then going back to our lives. But this is not my life. Living with you and my mother, this is not my life. This is not something I'm used to, and I don't want this type of lifestyle. I want something different for myself, and I'm not happy here. If I'm saying I'm not happy here, y'all should just want to support me into being happy. So then, what happened after that? Then I finally was leaving and on my way home, and they kept calling, of course, and texting, because I was acting like I was going to school, but I didn't really go to school. I really was coming back here. And I know some of y'all gonna think some of y'all gonna really have y'all opinion on this story, but it's like, y'all have to be in my shoes of what I was going through in that house to understand. And that's not the first time I was going through that stuff, because when I would go down there in the summertime and visit my mother for a couple of weeks, it's no different. So I don't know why in my mind I thought something would be different with living with my mother, because that's just something I'm not used to. I can love my mother from a distance, but not up close. Me and my mother, we will crash like that. And it was only gonna get worse because my sister's always taking my mother's side. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, no matter what my mother says, she's backing my mother up. We had so many arguments before, from long distance, of me arguing with my mother. Like, sometimes I couldn't see her for Mother's Day, and my sister would get mad and she's coming at me. But it's just like, okay, like, I have a mother here too, my stepmother, who takes care of me every day, who's living with me. That's wrong to leave her on her holiday and go with my birth mother, who my birth mother's not even taking care of me. You want me to pick up my bags and just go play Mother's Day with my birth mother and take pictures of a role she does not, over a title she does not deserve, because she's not playing her part. So we will have so many arguments. So it's just like, it's toxic for me, and enough is enough. I'm getting older. I'm 17 years old now. I have a mind of my own. I should be treated like an adult. I'm not a little kid to where people can tell me, like, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to live here, I can't live there. Like, no. I know right from wrong, and living there was dead wrong. I needed to come back and be here with people I already knew. I was already switching schools enough as it is, and it just felt good to come back to a school that I was already going to friends I already had, and it just felt good. And to see mad people missing me and wondering why I left just felt good. Like, I'm back and I'm here to stay. I don't want to go back, and I should have never even left. And everybody had their assumptions, like I was saying, about when I left, like rumors going around the school that my parents kicked me out and I had to go live with my birth mother, and that never happened. So I don't even know where that rumor came from, because I never got kicked out of my house. So right plan, wrong female, wrong rumor for me, because that's nowhere near the truth. And that's basically what this video is about, to get out my truth, so everybody can have an understanding of everything that was going on. And yes, y'all still entitled to your own opinion of me leaving my birth mother and stuff like that, but I had to do what I had to do. And basically, when I left her and I got back to Brooklyn, New York, I texted and I told her I was here, and I never heard from her that day. We no longer speak. I no longer speak to my birth mother. I no longer speak to my sister. I don't speak to the lady that I was calling my aunt. I don't speak to anybody in PA. Another detail that I left out is, because I kept going to different people. I went to the aunt that was calling I went to the lady that was calling my aunt. I went to my mother. I talked about it with my sister. I talked to the counselor. I talked about it with my mother's boyfriend, because he's also understanding of stuff like this. He always wants to help me out with my mother, because he know how she can be. Everybody know how my mother can be. So basically, I went to him, and he also sat there and said he supported my decision on me leaving. And then still, when I left, I never heard from none of them. I still had the same number when I left, and still didn't hear from none of them the day I left. And they probably feel away because I just picked up and left too and came back. But how many times I wasn't telling y'all one time I want to leave and I just left? No, I was telling y'all multiple times. I was telling multiple people, and nobody was understanding me. Nobody was hearing me out. Nobody wanted to let me leave, period. Y'all just wanted to keep me here in an environment where I don't want to stay. And I have a choice to where I don't want to stay here. And I'm not like playing victim in this situation. Nobody is the victim. Nobody is nothing in this situation. Everybody has their own opinion on this situation of how they feel, and they're entitled to that. But at the end of the day, this is my truth, this is my story, this is how I'm telling it. So basically, when I came back, I went straight to the daycare and saw all the kids, because I was working with them in the summertime, and then I just picked up and left them. And they was also happy to see me, and they ran to me. It was like such a heartfelt moment, and I wanted to cry and stuff like that. And then the next morning, my father had to go to work, and the police came to the door. So my birth mother that I was living with in PH, she called the cops to come to my address, and me and my stepmother answered the door, and they was like, we're following up with a report stating that Ronald said Raven is missing or something like that. And me and my stepmother's like, how could Ronald say that I'm missing when that's my father? When he knows I'm here, when he just left the house. That doesn't make any sense. So basically my mother called the police station speaking on my father's behalf, saying that I was missing, when she had message and proof that I was back in New York. And it's just like, how are you telling the police that I'm missing? And the police we showed identification that who I was and stuff like that, and that I was not missing, and they just left and they went about their way. It was a waste of time for them to come. And I showed them the message where I told my birth mother that I'm back in New York. So she knew. She called just to start drama, of course. After that, my stepmother got a long text, a nasty text. My stepmother's always getting after my mother. My birth mother telling my stepmother that my stepmother kidnapped me and this, that, and the third. When it's just like, you're at home wanting to text us, we're doing good over here. It's not like I didn't want you to be a part of my life. I just did not want to be around you. I needed to come back home. And it wasn't to say like I don't want to be around you ever, but I needed to come back home. I'm not accustomed to living with you at all, and you know that. So for you to sit here and make it seem like I was living my best life over there is a lie. Because we all know we wasn't. We was not all happy over there. Things could have been better. Everybody's in a better situation from what I'm seeing. My mother blocked me on Facebook. She probably blocked the number that I had back then. But it's like, who cares? Like, it's stuff like that. You're going to go and you blocking me on Facebook. Okay, that's cute. And then recently she sends my father like texts every day, sending him long texts, saying how I lied and this, that, and the third, and how he's this and he's that, and how she hope I fall on my face in life. And it's just like, it's stuff like that that shows that she's toxic. You see me doing good. You see me happy. You see that I'm safe. That's all you should be worried about as a mother. No matter what, you're supposed to love your child. I still love my mother. I still have love for my mother. But you sitting here and you doing stuff like that, it's fine. It's cool. That's it. That's okay. I have a father. I have a stepmother who treats me like a mother. That's something that you clearly wanted to do, but you was not showing that that's something you wanted. And it's just like, I decided to go. I'm entitled to that. It's my right. So it's just like, it's stuff like that that's really toxic, and nobody really knows the truth behind me and that story, because I never really sat there and spoke it out. But everybody has their opinion of how I just up and came back and how I just up and left, but it's not your business really. But I wanted to speak my truth and talk on a event that happened to me that's really serious, and that I'm kind of like, I'm chill about now. Like, before, the messages about her talking about me, talking down on me, it used to hit me and be sensitive, like, wow, how could a mother say something like that? But it's just like, I just block it all out now, and I do what I gotta do, and I feel like I'm doing pretty good. With all the stuff that I've been through in life, I feel like I'm upcoming. Nobody really knows what a person really goes through, like how some people is not okay, but it's okay. Like, I'm gonna be okay. I'm forever gonna be okay. It's just like, everything down there wasn't so bad, but it wasn't so good either. I wasn't in like a stable environment, somewhere I could be living, because if that's the case, then I would have never left. The school, like I said, was terrible. The living situation was not healthy either. Being around her every day was not healthy either. Like I never had somebody tell me to turn off my phone and go to sleep. I mean, my father probably, no, I don't even remember my father telling me that. I wouldn't even sit here and lie to you. No. Because I know in the morning what I got to do. I know if I'm talking on the phone, I know I got to get up in a couple hours and go to school, and that's my business. So that's what my father used to tell me all the time. Like, if you want to stay up, you know what you got to do in the morning. So he don't want to hear it in the morning, and that's just how I am. I can stay up all night, I'm still going to get up in the morning. You sit here and you treat me like a little girl. Like, that's what I feel like she wants back. She wants back in time that she lost, where I was a little girl. And cause sometimes she's asking me if I brush my teeth and stuff like that when I'm getting ready to go to school. I was 16 years old at that moment, and you sitting here and you asking me if I brush my teeth, if I comb my hair, brush my hair, and this, that, and the third. It's like I'm not 12, I'm not 8, I'm not 9, I'm 16. I know how to get myself ready. I've been doing it long enough before you was even around. Now you back around, now you trying to tell me what to do. No, you're trying to play a mother role now when you should have been playing it then. I don't understand that. It's just like I wish them the best. I don't wish nothing bad on them. Like I said, this video is not to badger them in any way. But at the end of the day, this is my story. I'm getting too many questions about this story, and I'm finally speaking my truth, and it feels really good. So now that y'all can know all the answers, and some of y'all might still feel like that was no reason for you to leave your mother. But like I said, you were not in my shoes. You were not going through what I was going through. Mental abuse is something. Like, words can really mess up your mind, and that with her, especially when drunk, was terrible, and nobody will understand that unless they there. Like, sometimes we will really be arguing, and I will have to walk out and go take a walk somewhere far and just walk out the house, because she will not stop. She will keep going until she get the last word, and I'm not used to that. Like I said, I'm not used to that. Going back and forth with my mother, no. She don't even do that with my sister, but it's because of me. I have something to say back to something she's saying. If I don't like what she's saying, if you're saying something wrong, I'm not gonna let you sit there and think what you're saying is right. No, I'm not no child who just shut up. I'm sorry, I'm not. Some those might find that disrespectful, but that's not what I am. If you're saying something wrong, I'm gonna say something. I'm not gonna sit there like, I'm not gonna be like disrespectful, but I'm gonna say something, and that's how it will always start. And she will always try to say like, stop being smart, or try to get up in my face. One summer when she had asked me if my father was sending me money. Mind you, I'm down there for the summer with her, and she's asking me if my father sent me money. Come on now. When I'm with my father, he don't ask you for no money. He don't call and be like, call your mother for this. And I'm like, no, I didn't call him. I'm not gonna keep calling him, asking this man for money. It just goes to show you that you just should have stayed home. So then I was getting ready to go in the shower, and she come in the bathroom like, stop getting smart, or I'm gonna smack you, or something like that. It's just like, smack me at 16 years old. I never got hit a day in my life by no parent, not my birth mother, not my father, not my stepmother. You're not gonna be the first. Not now. At least not now. You should have been doing it back then. I'm sorry, but I just laughed when she said that. I'm like, okay, like, yeah, okay. I'm sorry, but if my mother would have smacked me, I'm sorry, it just would have been an automatic reflex where I would have hit back. Because I'm not used to nobody hitting me. I'm not used to nobody putting their hands on me. I don't even like play fighting. So it's just like, if somebody were to really hit me, I really would have just probably hit them back. But it's just like, at the end of the day, you can't win or lose with her. So I just learned to keep my distance, and that's what we do now. We don't speak at all. Last time I spoke to her was that day I had left her house. I never heard from my sister. My sister still has me on Facebook. Never heard from her. I still had the lady that was calling my aunt on Facebook. Never heard from any of them. But it is what it is. I'm doing good. I don't wish bad on none of them. This video is not to badger them. It's just to tell my story of why I left and why I came back and what I was going through. And I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think or how you feel about the story. It is a true story. So I want y'all to really know that I am growing up without my birth mother involved, without my blood sister involved. I do just what I do call family is my father and my stepmother. They are all I got, really. And I'm happy with that. I'm more than happy with that, really. And it's good to be back. It feels really good to be back too. So yeah. So like I was saying, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. Give this video a thumbs up. Leave some comments because I'm open to read them. Even if they're bad comments, I will read them. If they're good comments, positive comments, I will also read them and respond. Text me on my social medias. Subscribe to my channel. Turn on the notification bell so you can be notified when I post a video. And stay tuned for more videos, guys, because I'm going to keep posting videos. So without further ado, is Ray Ray Gang. I'll make sure you guys join the Ray Ray Gang because Ray Ray Gang are no gang, not some period. I love you guys. Bye.
White cell, bitch, we live life.